So there is a story that I've been waiting for days to get on the record with. In the past week, you've definitely seen it, but here's a little refresher.
It's not really about asking for the raise, but knowing and having faith that the system will actually give you the right raises as you go along. And that, I think, might be one of the additional superpowers that, quite frankly, women who don't ask for a raise have. Because that's good karma. It'll come back. Because somebody's going to know that's the kind of person that I want to trust. That's the kind of person that I want to really give more responsibility to. And in the long-term efficiency, things catch up.
Yes, that was Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella discouraging female employees in the brotastic Silicon Valley, no less, from asking for raises. After the outcry that you would expect, he promptly apologized, calling his comments, quote, inarticulate, retracted the, quote, advice, and said he was completely wrong in a company-wide email. So at least there's that. But the fact that such a tone-deaf remark could be uttered in the first place made us wonder what it would be like if maybe more women ran tech companies. Heck, if there were simply more women in tech at all. Enter our next guest, who as high schoolers are already upending the status quo with a bold new video game. Sophia Hauser and Andrea Gonzales attended coding camp together this summer and came up with a twist on all the popular shooter games. Replace the violence and the guns with, well, tampons. The game is called Tampon Run, and its creators Sophie and Andy join us now, along with my friend and the founder of Girls Who Code, a rock star woman herself who founded a program aiming to close the gender gap in tech, Reshma Saujani. Ladies, I am so excited that you're all here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
So Andy, tell me, what inspired the game? What was the idea here?
At the end of Girls Who Code, you're supposed to create a final project which you present to an audience at the end of the program. And I was pretty vocal during the duration of our course that I wanted to make a video game that had a social message behind it. I was actually thinking about targeting the hypersexualization of women in video games because it's also a very relevant issue. But Sophie hopped on and she made a joke about having a game where you could just throw tampons, and we laughed for a while, but then we realized
then you're like, no, really, we should do that.
Yeah, and then we did. We looked into we did some research, and we realized that we had experienced it firsthand, and it was also an issue that could be addressed on a global level.
Well, Sophie, I love the idea here of just making it so stark that here we glorify guns. We're very comfortable with seeing guns in video games that children play, but we're so freaked out by something that every woman of childbearing age has literally every month, that we just get freaked out about seeing a tampon or saying the word tampon. What's the reaction been to the game since you guys finished it?
It's actually been so positive, which is incredible. And I had a guy friend who, before the game, would always shut down when I talked about menstruation, but he played the game and he came up to me and he was like, wow, it's actually not so weird. We can talk about this. So it's been really incredible.
That's amazing. It's a brilliant idea. Reshma, where did you find these ladies?
I'm so proud of them. I have no idea, but it was powerful just watching them stand up in front of their male teacher and pitch the game that they wanted to build, and completely on their own.
Were you nervous about that?
Oh, I guess we had each other.
Yeah, that makes it easier.
And then totally on their own, they've worked on this game. Hopefully it's going to be in Google Play. Someone tried to steal it. But, they've had to you've put themselves in the center of a conversation, and are incredible examples of what we're trying to do at Girls Who Code. No boy was going to build Tampon Run.
That's right.
Right? No boy was going to say, thousands and thousands of girls drop out of school in Africa every year, every day, because they start menstruating. So let's have a conversation about it. But these two young women were strong enough, resilient enough to have that conversation, and I'm so proud of them.
Yeah. Sophie, tell me about your experience with Girls Who Code. How did you get into the program? How was it?
It was an incredible experience. I mean, I had never coded before, so it was my first time coding, and I found coding so empowering because you get to build something. There's nothing on the screen, and then everything that shows up you've done. And I also learned better public speaking skills and to be more confident in general. So,
wow. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, similar to Sophie. I had been coding for a couple years beforehand, but this was the first year I actually qualified age-wise for Girls Who Code. I had found out about the program during its pilot year, but I was too young. So I've been waiting on that, and then this year I applied and I got in, and it's been an incredible experience, not just because I get to learn more about computer programming, but also because of the networking opportunities and all the doors that Girls Who Code has opened for me. looking for what I want to do.
So, Sophie, you now have this network of girl coders that you can plug into throughout the city, right? That has to be a very empowering thing.
Yeah, that is also so empowering. I mean, the female coding community is so accepting and so encouraging. It's really incredible.
So, Reshma, tell us, I know part of your inspiration here is Silicon Valley, very male dominated, and it matters, right? It matters to have women at the table, not just to like check some diversity box, but because, as you can see with this video game, they look at the world differently and it makes a difference.
Right. And listen, I mean, and I think that there are examples of just the type of leadership that we need, and we need to infiltrate. I mean, we saw what's happened in this past week with this conversation that's happening with tech. That's been happening, I feel, for the past 3 months. And Girls Who Code has gone from 20 girls. We'll have 3,000. Next year, we'll have 10,000. And before you know it, every single major company will be started by a Sophie and an Andy.
Yeah. Andy, how do you think things would be different if there were more women in Silicon Valley?
Well, generally, as you said before, women have a different perspective on the world. And so just by having more women in the tech industry, you'll have more diversity in the products and projects that people make.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I've been thinking about is even beyond the products that we consume, the way that the social media culture is, it frequently is incredibly misogynist. And there's this attitude online that if you call someone into question for something sexist they said to a woman, you're trampling on their free speech. And I think Reshma, that some of that goes back to the fact that all these companies, all these social media platforms are built and run predominantly by men who aren't thinking through those issues.
Absolutely. And I still think there's people question girls' aptitude. They don't believe that girls like Sophie and Andy can build a game called Tampon Run when just a few weeks ago they didn't even know how to code.
Yeah.
And that they're not only passionate about computer science, but they're badass at it.
Absolutely. So wait, Andy, you had done some coding, but Sophie, you had done no coding.
Yeah,
nothing.
never before.
And from a summer program, you were able to build that game.
Yeah.
And now, do you think that you're going to go for it in college, pursue
Yes,
a technical degree? What do you want to do with it?
I want to get a computer science degree.
Brown.
Yeah. And hopefully do that with my career.
Absolutely. How about you, Andy?
Yeah, I'm still a junior, so I have a couple more years before I think about college as a real thing. Yeah, but I definitely want to go into computer science and programming. I've been looking for different career paths I could follow with that kind of degree, and game development's looking up a little.
Absolutely.
And what's awesome is they're both feminists, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, hardcore, like we are, right? Like hardcore.
I can tell.
And they're going to bring that spirit and that vision to technology, and it's going to be amazing to see what they're already creating, what they're going to create.
Is it cool to be a feminist in high school? Is it acceptable? What do people say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at my school, it's very acceptable and everyone's very open about it, but I know that that's not the case everywhere.
Well, that is all very encouraging. Sophie, Andrea, Reshma, thank you guys so much. It's so great to see you.
Thank you.